Hi, Tim Sales here. I'm starting a new episode here with Straight Talk. And if for those of you who saw a video called Where Network Marketing Got Its Bad Reputation, I mentioned in there this thing called competitors, that they sometimes are spreading the rumors about network marketing. And I never really drilled into it because I wanted to come back and do it justice. And so that's what Straight Talk is all about. Is I'm going to basically expose and then show you how I assimilate and evaluate their data. And so the very first ones that I'm going to take up are a gentleman by the name of Dan and Desmond. And so we're going to roll a clip just so that you get a flavor of, and then we'll drill down into it. Let's watch this. Roll the clip.
Not only I've been involved with MLM for a short period of time in my career, but I've actually coached a lot of the top, I'm talking about 1% earners at the MLM industry. So I know this industry inside and out from both sides, from both the business side, also the consumer, as well as the recruiter side. Yeah. So today we're gonna dispel some of the myth. Let me just say this, I hate pyramid scheme.
But Sifu, I mean,
I hate this shit.
It was pretty good.
I'm like the most anti-MLM guy you'll ever meet.
Dispel the myths, huh? All right, let's dispel some myths. So, very first thing is obviously he's kind of abrasive, right? And so he says, "I know MLM inside and out." Why? He's been involved in another video. He said short time, and he said that he sponsored 4 people. Okay, coached the top of the top, and he said a lot of. So we don't really know what those numbers are. Doesn't state anywhere his earnings in network marketing. And so that's questionable to me. The other thing is that it's been my experience, and I've consulted a couple of hundred network marketing companies. It's been my experience that when a person knows what he doesn't know, he's the smartest person in the room. All right? But the person who knows it all is the dumbest person in the room. Not because they're dumb, but because they can't learn. When a person assumes they know all there is to know, then they're kind of done, right? They can't learn anything else. I've made many, many millions of dollars. I've consulted a couple of hundred network marketing companies, have team sales of well over $1 billion in sales. And I would never say that statement, "I know MLM inside and out." Why? Because if you were to come to me and say, "Hey, I need you to program this back office," I couldn't do that. "Hey, I need you to program the compensation plan." I know a lot of compensation plans, but I couldn't program one. If somebody were to come and say, "Hey, I need the legal view on this," I'm not an attorney. I'm not going to take up the legal side. Right? So there's a whole lot around the network marketing space, and that I still have to learn. And so I would never make a comment like that. Okay. So all right. So now let's roll a clip of the comment that the person made.
It works. Like, you don't want people to talk to you, just tell, "I'm a network marketer." Then it's like you have some kind of disease. They don't even want to get close to you. Do you actually like that? Seriously, is that how you want to be treated? Like, no pride, right? Just, it's sad. It's very...
Okay, this will be fun. Okay, so he says that people won't like you if you're an MLM, and so let's dig into that. And here his this is just really, it's just a technique. Okay, so he's pushing on this thing. Is that how you want to be treated? No pride. It's sad. Okay. Okay. So there was a time when I was in the Navy and I was stationed in San Diego, California, and I was in a checkout line, and there was a girl behind me. We started chatting, and she said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm in the Navy." And she said, "You're in the Navy? So you couldn't get a real job?" And I remember it stabbed me or something, It was painful. And then, and I was on a motorcycle, and the whole way home, I kept thinking about it. And I was like, like it really bugged me because, see, my background, my whole family was in the military. My uncle was in the military. My grandfather was in the military. My dad was in the military. Everybody was in the military. And it was a heroic thing. It was an obligation and an honor and a duty to serve your country first. Then you go out and make a living. And so this girl kind of hit something there. And then later on, I figured out that she had an opinion about men in the Navy. Not me. She didn't even know me. And so that's kind of the way that I think this right here is, is that how you want to be treated? I could care less. Like, that's her issue, and it's that whoever he's implying. And then I can't or won't be who, especially for people I don't know, want me to be. No pride is the absence of identity. If you really drill back and you say, what is pride? Pride is somebody who cannot be destabilized. You can't break them from who they are, right? And so when I went through that process in my head about this girl, I was basically looking at my identity and saying, is this who I am? Yes, it is. And then I stood bold because what does she matter? What is she? What is she to me, right? So that was the way that I looked at that whole aspect of this emotional button that he's trying to push on a person, trying to shake the person. So now, let me address another side of this, and that is, why would they not like you? Why would a person not like you if you're in network marketing? Well, maybe you're causing this. Maybe it's pushy. Maybe it's rude. Maybe it's obnoxious. Don't be that. Okay? Because of a profession, well, that's their issue. And so I don't give them what they expect. So if I'm talking to somebody, typically if somebody asks me, let's say I'm on an airplane, somebody asks me, what do I do? Depends on the situation. Sometimes I say I help older men lose weight. Another time, I'll say I build sales teams. So that's the way that I say it. And then if somebody asks to drill down, because most of the time when somebody says that, they're not really, really interested. And so, but if they dig down or something like that, I'll say network marketing. Unapologetically, I say I'm in network marketing. It's not a weird vibe. Okay, so that's going to be, if I can give you a pointer, that would be point number one. So this right here has to do with the grades in network marketing, if you haven't seen this yet. So this would be somebody bad at it, somebody mediocre, somebody good, excellent, and elite. Over here is the income that they're going to make. These people in the elite category are the ones who make millions. There's a video I did on this called Network Marketing Success, Who Earns Millions, Who Earns Zero, and Why. And so you're welcome to come back and look at this. But the thing I want to point out are these green columns right here. This right here is relationships. And what does a bad person in network marketing, an F student if you were in school, what do they do to relationships? Well, they're unprofessional. They damage relationships. They state falsehoods. In other words, they lie. They exaggerate. They spam people. Very likely to spam people. Okay? And then over here, training interest is the catch-all column, because if you don't have interest in training, then you can never get better. Okay, the D student, mostly unprofessional, harms relationships, causes awkward strain. And then over here is that they complain about training, they occasionally attend training, they watch some, but they won't train their organization. Okay, so that is my 30 years in the industry. I have plotted it to where I can tell based upon somebody's interest in training. So if somebody causes an awkward strain, it's because they lack training in communication skills. That's all that it comes down to. So if you've had somebody approach you that way, then that's all that was going on. It's no different if somebody can't divide or add or subtract or anything else. They just lack an understanding of how to do it. Okay, so that would be the reason. But about 50% of the time that I bring up a conversation, they don't know what network marketing is. Most of the time it's either going to be on an airplane or I'm at some kind of a fundraiser where we're sitting at a millionaire table and each one of us are talking about what we do. And so that's where it would come up, because those people tend to be a little bit more curious, because wealthy people are very, very curious. And so, so about 50% of the people don't even know what network marketing is. 25% are intrigued. I remember this one guy, he said, he was sitting across from the table from me, and he goes, I said, I build sales team, and he goes, what industry? And I said, in network marketing. And he goes, I want to talk to you. And so he grabs his chair, he comes around, he sits down next to me, and he goes, I've heard a lot about it, but not from anybody who knew what to do. Tell me about it. And it was just like that. He wasn't necessarily interested in it. He was fascinated by it. Okay. So, so I'd say about 25% of the time you get that. The other 25% of the time is you'll notice a change in facial expression. Okay. So maybe the person's been in network marketing. Maybe the person has been approached before, didn't want it, and thinks, oh boy, here we go again. Right. And so I don't give them what they expect. I don't prospect that way. I never prospect that way. All right. In another video, I'll show you how I actually go about the process, but not here. Now you're going to learn a little bit later how slimy Dan's comment is. A little bit later, when you find out what he's really up to, what his agenda is, and because he's trying to spin all of this into getting you to buy his course. Okay, so. You'll kind of see the whole story reveal as I go along here. And so I'm going to call this a false claim. It's agenda driven. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, comment down below. Let me know if you've experienced kind of the same thing, and try to detect from what I've shown you why, and leave a comment down below and let me know about it. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.